Um, so I want to touch on it real quick with you. What was that turning point for you in your recovery, everything like that, and then going into this mindset? What was that turning point?
So when I was in the mastermind, I'd had 3 Airbnbs that I was managing myself, working 2 jobs, and I was swamped and just I was busy. Like I was cleaning the Airbnbs at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 10 o'clock at night after working 12 hours, like traveling, making it happen, making money. Like I started out with an air mattress and wound up that second year, I wound up doing 113 grand gross. And I was like,
Wow.
holy shit, this is amazing. But I was just swimming in it. Like I was still had manual locks. I still had manual messaging, like the whole thing. When I joined this group, I met these 2 guys. One was 13 months sober. One was 9 months sober. They were very highly successful in their careers. One was a salesman. One worked for a company. It was the first time I met, and this sounds so ridiculous to say, but it's the first time I met 2 guys my age that were successful in their careers and didn't drink.
Wow.
And they said, listen, we want to get into Airbnb. You have the experience. We have the other stuff. Let's form a company. So we formed a company. And about a month in, I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about putting down the drink. And they were like, listen, if you ever think about putting down the drink, just give it a shot. Just give it a shot. And so I made it like 28 days. And I drank again. I was so mad at myself. I drank. I was like, what the fuck? That didn't even taste good. Like, what are you doing? And so I waited like 30 days. And then it was like January 9th. And I was like, listen, I'm going to go for 60. I know you got 60 in you. Let's do it. And so I made it 60 days. And I was like, fuck, I feel great. Like I feel amazing. Like, what if I went to 6 months? How great would I feel? And then on May 5th, I was working in the restaurant business, and we had like 7 Airbnbs in the company. And I was like, fuck it, I'm quitting my job. I was like, I got some money in the bank. I'm like, I did it without even asking them. They're like, no. Like, what did you do? But they wound up paying me a little bit, but like, I didn't care. I just was like ready to burn the boats. And we wound up scaling up to 27 Airbnbs in 7 states in 5 months. So we were fucking crushing.
Yeah.
But we didn't make any money. And there's a lot of mistakes that I learned the hard way in business the first time. And I wound up getting to the end of July, and me and one of the business owners were not seeing eye to eye. He is not the easiest guy to deal with at taking a step back from it, and we just didn't jive. And he gave me this long list of things that I needed to fix in the next 30 days. Like, we went to this long meeting where you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to do this. And I got to the end of the meeting, and I said, you need to go fuck yourself, because I'm not doing any of those things, and I'm out. So I literally lit $26,000 on fire. Like, I lit it on fire. Like, I signed the contract, walked away, and that next day, I was a different human. I even spoke to him, and he goes, I don't know who you are, but I have not spoke to this human in the last 3 months, because the weight of the lies I was telling myself was driving me insane, because I wasn't in alignment anymore with who I was, what I agreed upon, and my role. I didn't want to be in it anymore. Yeah. And so I got out, and it just so happened that this idiot had planned a 12-day trip to Costa Rica, like 2 days before I walked out. So it's only an imbecile goes on a trip when he doesn't have a job. Wow. He just lost 26,000 grand. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going anyway. My coach lives down there. I'm going with my ex-wife. So we go down, and it's the first time I ever traveled on vacation and didn't drink. And so that for me was my Everest. So that was like 7 months in, and I was like, holy shit, like, I can do this. I can really do this. And so what happened the day before I left is I got a phone call from an old friend I hadn't talked to in a long time. And he said, hey, I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are business-wise. I don't know who you're working for, but I got a job for you in private equity, and I want to hire you. And I said, dude, I'm leaving for Costa Rica tomorrow. He goes, I don't care. You can start when you get back. So boom. Went down there knowing I had a job with a salary, and I was like, thank goodness. And didn't really love that job, but it was a safe place to learn how money worked, and I learned kind of the business of hard money. Yeah. And really tried to get out of the Airbnb game, like, a lot. Like, I still have PTSD. I just got over it like a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Because we weren't doing it properly. Like, we were getting 85 to 150 messages a day. At its peak, I was getting those nonstop. Wow. And So now that I've rebuilt my company for myself and my business partner, we've rebuilt it in an entirely new way, less hands off for me and stuff. But one of the things I want to really emphasis on is those first 2 days after I quit that company and lost that money, I beat myself up, man. I mean, I was like, dude, your one opportunity, you fucking lost it. You'll never get it again. Now you're going to go have to make waiting tables. All these things, man. I was a nightmare to deal with. And I called a friend who's helped me out many times in my life. And he said, hey, do you have a master's degree? No. Did you go to business school? No. Did you graduate college? No. Okay. Well, you just went to the best school in the world. It's called the School of Life. Yeah. Chalk it up to a college degree and move on with your day. And in that moment, I said, okay. And then I wound up going on. And, we've seen a lot of success in the last 6 months, but understand that I made a promise to myself. And you asked the turning point. I realized that my frustration with my life was I had broken many, 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 many promises to myself. That's it. Not anybody else, myself. And so I made a conscious effort when I got sober that I would never break a promise to myself ever again. And so when you see me highly aggressive about a commitment that I made or a workout, it's because I made that promise to myself that I'll never change. And because I've kept those promises to myself and consistency is my superpower, I win every day. And the biggest issue I see in my 100+ people that I've coached is they're searching for consistency. Yeah. And the reason they don't have it is because their goals are ridiculous or their goals are for somebody else, so they're not in alignment with their goals. And the second reason is they're trying to stack on too much shit and make it too complicated.
Exactly. I think actionable steps every day, winning the day, right?
That's what I do, man. That's my
shit. Exactly. Every day, if you make a promise to yourself, just like you said, and just win the day, I feel like you're going to be so much further. And it sounds like you needed to go through, the Airbnb experience to figure out how not to run your business in order to run your successful one now. And it kind of sounds like a lot of it kind of turned down to who you surrounded yourself with. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah, and also this has happened in the last 3 weeks, so this is very fresh for me. But also understanding that I'm the game. Okay? And I really want to emphasize this point. Look, guys, mentors are great, and I have learned more than anything. And if you want to listen to me, fucking awesome. I'm cool about it. But let me tell you something. Everybody that's listening has every gift inside of them. And I didn't trust myself enough to be the guy. And now I just don't give a shit anymore. Because I have a vision for my life and I'm very firm on it. And I've made a decision that this is how we're going to roll. And everybody that's involved with me, they know my mission. They know the path. And, everybody that's involved with me, that's in my companies or works for me, you know what they never asked once? What I'm getting paid.
There you go. Because
the mission is greater and the lifestyle is greater. And what they're working for and who they're working for. I don't care when you work. You want to work at 9 o'clock at night? You want to work till 1 in the morning? I don't care. You want to work at 4 a.m. to 2 and be done? I don't care. It doesn't matter. If you get your job done, I'm not going to